Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest installment of FHM Monday. I've been calling it over on YouTube the Birth of the Bolt series using FHM 7. We're bringing it over here to Twitch, and we will be showing on YouTube Tuesday, let's say 9:30 Eastern Time tomorrow night. Which, if you're seeing this on YouTube, is actually tonight. So we are 4 minutes and 15 seconds away from getting started on this May the 10th, 2021. I hope your Monday was good. And no matter what day you see this on, I hope your day was good. Tampa Bay Lightning in my FHM sim. You're probably going to wonder why we're already at February of 1995 when our last episode, if you caught it on YouTube, was October of 1994. And there's a very simple solution to this. I forgot that in 94 95, much like Major League Baseball went on a strike that canceled the rest of their season, the NHL went on a strike that killed off the first part of their season. But they eventually got back in January. We played a few games, got us up to February. And for about an hour, once the stream starts in earnest, we were going to do about an hour's worth of games. And I used the 2D and not the 3D, so we could probably get 5 games in an hour, and then we will come back tomorrow night and do some random acts of OOTP, the second part of that series, which I started Thursday, and we moved it to Tuesday to try to make room for all of my projects on a weekly schedule. And I take some time during the middle of the week and take off some time, and then on the weekend I do my projects that will be seen on YouTube first and are also simultaneously seen on my Facebook group. As you see there above the timer, that's my handle on YouTube, Big Paulius World of Sports Sims, and that is also the name of my Facebook group where I keep all of this stuff. So you can see what I'm doing on Twitch and you can see what I'm doing on YouTube. We just got our 10th member today, and we picked up a member on Twitch, Ratcast. So we will welcome you, sir, to the festivities and the frivolities and all the fun here with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to go until we get started. I like doing these talk ups when I can because people will see them and people will talk back to you when you start doing them. Made some hardware upgrades today. I got a brand new keyboard, USB keyboard, so I could see the letters better because I'm nearly 50 and I am not able to see them all that good. Plus, my old USB keyboard, the letters were getting less and less faint. Like I could barely see the L. The paint on the L was coming off. It led to a lot of errors, and I don't want to be spending all my time typing things into oblivion. 1 minute, 15 seconds before we begin this stream. Noticing a lot of people from Twitch, like OOTP Developments does a lot of material on Twitch. So maybe we could get them on the Meet with Big Polly. That's a show I do on Thursdays from 9 o'clock and onward. A live show, which I either do solo, but most of the time I want to be interviewing guests for it. And we had Rob from YouTube on, Rob exclamation point. He was my first guest, and I'm very honored to have him on as a first guest. So in 30 seconds, we'll get started. Hope you enjoy the stream. And we should go a little past 8 o'clock tonight with it on the United States East Coast time. So stand by, please, and we will get this started in approximately 15 seconds. Well, how goes it, everybody? Welcome to episode 17. Actually, no, we are on part 18. See, I've already made an error tonight of the Birth of the Bolt series that I started doing on YouTube. I brought it over here. We'll do it live on Twitch, and then we'll air it on YouTube via tape delay sometime Tuesday night, thinking of 9:30 Eastern. So the Bolts are off to a good start in 1995, and I mentioned this in the pre-show. I'll mention it again during the live portion. How did we go from October 1994 to February 1995? Simple. I forgot this was a strike year, so we have cruised all the way to February 1995. We played the first few games of the 94-95 season, which was actually the 95 season, and we did well. We are right now third in the conference with 8 points. Quebec has a game in hand on us, and the New York Islanders have also racked up 8. So we're going to go ahead and get this game started. First, let me acknowledge a new follower today, Retcast. Thank you for joining us, and we hope all is well with you. In fact, let me give you a follow. In fact, I'm going to give all of my followers so far a follow, but I've already done it. So let's go ahead and drop the puck on a game with the New York Rangers. I like my lines the way they are. Now, am I going to have a face gen error here? Yes, I am. I got Brian Bradley. I'm only seeing his shoulder. And it's Tugnut in goal against Mikkel Sandberg. And it's Bradley and Leach, the star players. The players, FHM 7 says you got to watch them. Bradley, 7 points in 6 games. Leach, 6 points in 7 games. But Leach's plus minus is way below Bradley's at -5. So let's drop it. And again, I like the 2D operation. So we'll do that. On this 10th of May, as I record this, the day we learned Tim Tebow will be coming back to professional football with the Jacksonville Jaguars as a tight end. Tebow, long removed from the National Football League, he tried Major League Baseball, made it up to the AAA farm system of the Mets, and now he is interested in football again. We're a few days removed from Canelo Alvarez's knockout over Billy Joe Sanders in super middleweights in boxing, and the controversy that has caused. Aaron Turcotte called for tripping, and the Lightning have a 21% power play, which is good for hockey standards. Lightning will not win the Central Division this year in 2021 in the NHL. Lost to the Dallas Stars, knocked them out, and then they subsequently lost to the Panthers. So they'll have an uphill battle to repeat as champions. They've been dealing with injuries during the year. Not looking likely that the Lightning will be able to repeat as Stanley Cup champions when the playoffs begins in late May. So you're talking about Stanley Cup season going almost to August. 8 minutes left in the first. It's been a very quiet first period so far, despite the penalty. And now we have a scoring chance for somebody. Who could it be? It's the Rangers. Leach scoring. Per Dose and Chris Granton. Granton played for the Lightning, but, in the alternate universe that is FHM, teams wind up different places. Granton was a great player for the Bolts, helped them make the playoffs for the first time in 1996. And speaking of the Lightning, Hammerlick called for a 2-minute penalty. This is the last thing you want to give the Rangers right now is a shot at a 2-0 lead. Shots now 9-9, 10-9 Rangers. 3.5 minutes to go. There's more to the game of FHM than these games, of course. But I like showing off the games. I think I drafted well in the 94-95 offseason, or the 94 offseason, which in my sim, the Pittsburgh Penguins won in 4. Nearly said Pittsburgh Steelers. Book-a-boom called for hooking. Lightning will get a penalty that'll carry over to the second. Shots are even, but the Rangers lead 1-0 in this first game. We'll play 4 or 5 games and get you all to whatever it's his you'll be watching tonight in the world of sports and beyond. Tampa Bay now leading on shots, 14-12. Next goal will be key here as we move closer to the midway point of the second period. Very early in the season yet, but encouraged by what the Lightning have done in these first few games. I think we played 6 games last week, and now we are playing 4 or 5 to start February. Then I will sim out the rest of February, come back with you for March. Lightning hanging in this game from the Garden, Madison Square Garden, on 34th Street in beautiful Midtown Manhattan. Shots 18-16, 18-17 now in favor of the Bolts. And the Lightning have equalized it. Anderson assisted by Alfredsson and Bureau. And when I was talking about the Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders fight, of course, there was controversy with that. Sanders took a punch to the eye, and they're thinking it did eye damage to the point where he may not fight again. And there was a bunch of criticism that because Saunders decided not to come out, it was actually his corner's decision to try to save his career, not just try to win one fight, which is wise. Now, can the Lightning go ahead 2-1? This goal here will be critical because somebody is going to have a 2-1 lead. .306 left in the second period, and the Bolts came on. They were down on shots. Actually, it was 11-11 going to the second period. They've now taken over. 25-17. Can they get a goal here? They do. 2-1. Lightning lead. Bradley assisted by Johnson and DeMaio. Hold the pepperoni. And it's 2-1. My mobile device asking if I want to update my stream any. No, not while I'm running it. Thank you very much. So it's 2-1 Bolts. They're now up 9 shots, 26-17. Going to the third. Anybody in chat? I say hello to you. With about 14 and a half minutes left in the third period. Very quiet third period, moving along without too many stoppages. And finally a stoppage, hooking against Brian Bradley, which will give the Rangers a power play here. 10 minutes left in the third. Bolts hanging on to a 2-1 lead, trying to pick up 2 more points. I use Twitter Studio to do these games, by the way. I'll tell you this, if you're thinking about getting into the streaming game yourself, it is a very easy to learn device. It is Mats Lindgren called for interference, and the Rangers get another power play. Their power play lethal, 26%. And here they're looking for a chance to tie the game. And no, the Lightning get it. Bergevin, assisted by Hammerlick and Bureau, 3-1 Tampa. And a quick goal back for the Rangers. Turcotte, assisted by Kovalev and Leach, 3-2. So this one not over yet by any means. Hooking against Lindgren. The Bolts now are shorthanded. So how quickly this has changed with 6.5 to go in the game. Barring us going to overtime where we would play 5 minutes more. I don't think they instituted the shootout for many more years yet in the NHL. Does anybody like the shootout? I don't. 4 minutes to go. Shots nearly even now, 31-28 in favor of Tampa. Bradley playing a great game. His game rating is 78. And now Ty Domi called for holding. Ty Domi, the enforcer, I guess you could call it for the Rangers here. Guy not afraid to scrap. Final minute of the game. Will the Rangers pull their goalie? They never get the chance to until the last 10 seconds, and the Tampa Bay Lightning win another one. 3-2. Stars of the game were Bureau, Leach, and Bergevin. Bergevin scored the winning goal, and very well done. So that's 2 more points. Sorry, folks, I had to sneeze off mic. Yes, I pulled up my microphone so I could sneeze. And we'll go through the news before getting to our next game, which will be up in Pittsburgh. Good game for Peter Bondra. 3 goals, no assists, a hat trick. As the Canadians beat the Florida Panthers 8-5. Joe Sakic has a hot run going with a 15-game point streak. Igor Ulyanov, suspended. He plays left defense for the Winnipeg Jets. Vincent Damhus with a 6-goal streak. He scored as it was 3-2 Washington over Buffalo. And a little coaching report there. Sergei Fedorov, he has a assist in 9 straight games. And Igor Veritsky might be returning for the Lightning. And we head to the Igloo in Pittsburgh for this game, as Tampa faces, in my timeline, the team that are the defending world champions in the Stanley Cup champions in the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's Casey in goal against Barrasso. And the way the Lightning are playing, they could beat anybody right now. We're 4 wins, couple of ties. We're at 10 points. It's a shortened season, so anything can happen, and you probably get more random results. Lemieux, the first in the penalty box tonight, he gets called for slashing. And Tampa Bay just playing well. And we get the first goal in this game. That is Alfredsson, assisted by Bradley. 1-0. Bolts. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Doug Crossman. Samano and DeMaio on the assist. Route shooting the Penguins 9-1, 9-2 now. And the first 2 goals are ours. 14 and a half left to go. And I think the Lightning are playing right now. Yes, they are. 2 minutes into the game with the Panthers. Their regular season running short. I think the Western Division still has another week or so left after the other games conclude, because there were a lot of games lost to COVID. And if you're watching us on Tuesday night on YouTube, the Lightning Penguins game took place last night. Lafreniere, unassisted, which you don't usually see. 3-0 Tampa. We're not even halfway through the opening period. It's one of the few times I have played either FHM 6 or FHM 7 and I've seen an unassisted goal. Now, can we make it 4? We can! Oh, Kenny Johnson, assisted by Zomner and Anderson. And this is a mugging. 4-0. In fact, they already pulled the goalie. Pittsburgh pulled the goalie. They put Grant Fuhr in. Tampa Bay picked up a penalty, but they have a 4-0 lead. Barrasso was quickly excused from this one, and they put Grant Fuhr in as the backup goalie. He who played for Edmonton in real life in the 80s and was their netminder when they won a heaping helping of Stanley Cups back in the 80s when they had a guy named Gretzky on their team. 17 shots to 7. It's Hartman. 2-minute minor. Pittsburgh has a dead lethal power play, 32%. And with some of the players on that team, it's no wonder why. And of course, I'm eating something and they score a goal. Alexeyev makes it 4-1. Pardon me talking with my mouth full, folks. I think I'd be smarter than this. End of the first period, 4-1 Tampa Bay leading. They lead on shots, 17-12. And you'll pardon me if I sit out for a little bit as I chew my goldfish crackers, with my apologies. Almost 7 minutes now gone by. Second period, it's 4-1 Tampa Bay leading. Sorry, folks. And the Lightning make it 5-1. Lindgren, assisted by Chambers and Hodge. So as I was saying about the Lightning, right now they're playing so well they could beat anybody, which bodes well for them making the playoffs, which would be a year before they made the playoffs in real life. Midway through the game now, it's 5-1. Tampa Bay leading on shots 25-18. And it's roughing against Rob DeMaio. Pittsburgh in that 31% power play of theirs. They hit the 5-on-4 advantage. Unfortunately for them, it's been all Tampa Bay in this game with the exception of one goal the Penguins got in the first period. Now you got the big lead. All you want to do is get on out of there. Those of you wondering about my YouTube content, we do Glory Days Boxing on Friday nights. We do Grand Slam Wrestling on Saturday nights. In fact, we're calling that now GSW Grand Slam Saturday, where we'll show several matches for you on that program. That's on my YouTube channel. That's Lemieux scoring, and of course he's going to stick his beak in, and it's 5-2. Now, can the Penguins put goals together? That's the question, the $1,000,000 question. And Kudashev called for a penalty, which will carry over into the third. It's 5-2 Bolts, and they lead on shots 26-22. Speaking of the number 22, a week from today was that crazy game at Wrigley Field in 1979. 42 years ago in 1979, the Cubs and the Phillies went at it, and the Cubs scored 22 runs and lost to the Phillies 23-22. That was the game Dave Kingman hit one of those home runs you didn't even have to call. You knew it was gone when he swung the bat. I think that was like his third home run of the day, and he hit it like in the middle innings. Under 13 to go in the third. Almost midway to the third period. Paul Stanton picks up an unsportsmanlike penalty, grousing with the refs a little too much, or the officiating crew. And now it's 5-3 with 6 minutes to go, maybe too little too late. Tocchet assisting Kevin Stevens. Now, can the Lightning get something going here? The next goal is going to be crucial because if Pittsburgh gets it, it's 5-4, which it is. And maybe Pittsburgh could steal a point here. Starvana. And now it's white knuckle time if you're Tampa Bay. 5 minutes to go. Pittsburgh needs another goal. It was 4-0, and then 5-1, and now it's 5-4. Bob Erie called for a hooking, and that's going to dampen the Penguins' cause, because now Tampa Bay will have the power play going their way. 2.5 left now in the third. Last minute, Pittsburgh got to pull their goalie. They never do, and Tampa wins again. This time 5-4. The stars of the game were Zaminer, Alexeyev for Pittsburgh, and Rob DeNio. The 3 stars, first star and third star, were Tampa Bay players. Stevana reached 100 points with this game. And Tampa Bay just shooting anything that moves right now. That's another win for them. They move to 12 points as we continue on with the 1995 NHL season. Fedorov streaks ends. His assist streak was 9 games. Sakic now with a 5-game goal streak and a 16-point streak. Point in 16 games. As Quebec lost to New Jersey 9-3. Alik had his suspension end, Todd Alik. Teemu Solani injured. Ulanov coming back from suspension, and there are continued rumors that Igor Veritsky will be back. So the Northeast road trip continues. Now Tampa heads to Buffalo. We shuffle off to Buffalo. And in this game, that's Tugnut and Hasek, your goalkeepers. Bradley, 8 games played. He's now at 9 points. LaFontaine off to a very hot start. 13 points, 8 games, and his plus minus is 7. Lightning are 5-1-2. Buffalo 3-4-1. But they were in the Stanley Cup Finals in my first sim season of that was 92-93. Buffalo and Vancouver. So we're underway from the odd in Buffalo. And we'll see what the Lightning can do up here. Close to the border of Canada. And the first goal very quickly going to Nichols, assisted by Duchesne and Randy Wood, and Buffalo off to a 1-0 lead. Seven minutes already gone by. Shots are 5-4. Can the Lightning equalize? And the answer is yes. Zomner assisted by Alfredson and Lindgren. And we're dead even at a goal each. Another show I do on YouTube is the OOTP Perfect Team Series. I do that Sunday during the day. Check that out. Later on in the day, I do the Coach Up with Big Paulie, and I coach the 76 Buccaneers through their season. Already had an interesting result in our very first part of that episode, but we're going to play all 14 games out, playoff games if needed, and final part of that series will be the recreation of Super Bowl 11. Maybe two different teams will be in it. Maybe it won't be Minnesota and Oakland facing off at the Rose Bowl in 1977. 2 minutes left. First period, it's 11-8 on shots and a dead even score, 1-1. Bergevin's had a good first period. His game rating's up to 59. And we'll go to the second. It's 1-1 and 11-9 lead on shots for the Bolts. Now, Buffalo with a scoring chance, it would appear, and that would give them a 2-1 lead. It does. LaFontaine, he's been red hot for the Buffalo Sabres. Howardchuk and Audette with the assists, and it is 2-1. Also, and speaking of assists, and how Kenny Mayne would always say assist. He's leaving ESPN after 29 years. We wish him well. That word came out today in the sporting world. Shots are 14 all right now. As we continue to hope the world comes back from COVID and the battle now that has waged on for 14 months here in the United States, fighting. And we had Jeff Odgers and Dean Kennedy take a few swings at each other. They'll sit for 5 minutes. A 2-1 Buffalo lead. We hope the world continues to come back from the abyss that was COVID and all the restrictions that came with it. Mike Hartman called for holding, and Buffalo goes on the power play. Their power play is a little weak at 17%. I figure you want to be at right about 20. Midway point now of the game. Steve Duchesne called for holding. And we got a whole bunch of people in the penalty box right now between the fight and these last little rash of penalties. Holding against Keith Carney, I beg your pardon. So it's getting crowded in the penalty box for Buffalo right now. You ever see the Peanuts cartoon where Snoopy's holding a hockey game and he invites everybody in the neighborhood to like be goal judges and timekeepers and scorekeepers, and everybody is on this little itty bitty pound, and Snoopy's like, okay, how are we gonna play the game? Little itty bitty ice pond that probably in the summertime is like a water fountain for Snoopy. And everybody is like, okay, how are we going to play the game with everybody on this itty bitty pond? 2.5 left to go in the second. It's 2-1, Buffalo leading. We'll be with you at least another 25 minutes as I bring some of my material over from YouTube to Twitch. And that's the end of the second. It's 2-1. Bolts with a 6-shot lead in the shot department, 23-17. They're going to need some third period magic to win this. They always seem not to match up well with Buffalo, I notice. So we hope we avoid them in the playoffs, slashing against Brian Bradley. So Buffalo on the power play, and they cash in on it. Jason Daw with an assist from LaFontaine. Glory hog he is. It's 3-1, Buffalo leading. $30 shots to 20, but Buffalo 2 goals ahead on the scoreboard with the 3-1 lead. Even the great teams are going to lose once in a while, so I'm not disappointed by this. But oh, here come the Lightning. Scoring chance for them. They get it. Rob DeMaio assisted by Kennedy and Hartman, 3-2. It's not over yet for Tampa Bay. And Bodger called for high sticking. Tampa Bay on the power play. Can they cash in again? Six and a half to go. It's hooking against Vasky of Buffalo. Another power play opportunity for Tampa Bay. 5 minutes left to go. Which is now down to 4. They have a 10-shot lead, 32-22, under 3. Under 2. Tugnut looking at the bench and saying, should I come in? Buffalo now with it. And a goal here would be icing on the cake for them and some insurance. And there it is. Doug Bodger assisted by Heineman. It's 4-2 Buffalo. They're going to win this game unless Tampa can get a goal real fast. And Bodger and Hartman go at it. Settling scores with their Dukes. So this game ends with tempers running high, but it's Buffalo that's going to prevail the final 4-2. LaFontaine, a goal and assist. He is the worthy star of the game. Dean Kennedy with an assist and a few scraps. And Nichols, a goal and no assist for Buffalo. Disappointing outcome for Tampa Bay, but you can't win them all. Tampa Bay leading the division right now. Memorable game for Mike Johnson, 6-5 loss. Kings beat the Mighty Ducks in the Battle of L.A., and he had 4 goals in the game, no assists. Sakic has a point streak now of 17. Pavel Bure, a goal streak of 6. And again, we're wondering when Igor Varitsky is going to be going next. We'll take a look at the standings real quick. And yeah, Tampa Bay is the clear leader in the Atlantic Division. Who would have thought that coming in? And with that, we will play at home against the New York Islanders. Continue. Healy against Tugnut. Tugnut with the better goal of the save percentage. Turgeon, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points in 8 games. Bradley, 9 points, 9 games. We'll drop the puck, get this one started, and we should have time for one more after this. So again, we're doing this live on Twitch, hooking against Hartman. So Tampa Bay, only 8 seconds in the game, they pick up a penalty. And if you want to watch this on YouTube in full, you could watch it 9:30 tomorrow night, which will be Tuesday night. But if you're seeing this and it's May 11 or later, forget it. Might want to make a note of the schedule. So when future games come, we'll have them for you on YouTube. But we're going to do some of our projects initially on Twitch. And then do some of our projects on YouTube only. YouTube and the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims Facebook group. So can the home team get off to a good start? They cannot. Sador, assisted by Tarasenko, 1-0 Islanders, who play out in Long Island. The home of Billy Joel, who just had a birthday recently. I won't tell you his age. I don't want to depress you. We didn't start that fire. Da, 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 da. And the Islanders go up 2. McInnes, Kasperitis assisting. Not a good start for the Bolts, who need the rebound after what happened with Buffalo, in Buffalo. Tripping against Lindgren, and the Islanders just keep the good times rolling. They have a power play coming up. Oh, you might want to pull Tugnut there, Coach. Palfy, assisted by Thomas and Turgeon, 3-0. We'll check to see if they pull Tugnut. They do not. They keep him in. Lightning getting outplayed in these first 12 minutes of the game pretty badly. Ooh, brutal. But we're leading the Atlantic Division, so, we got some room to lose games, although you don't really want to. Final minutes of the first period here. It is 3-0 Islanders. Not off to a good start at the Thunderdome, which later became known as Tropicana Field. Now the Lightning get a goal back. Hodge, assisted by Chainers and Zaminer. 3-1. And now, can the Islanders get the goal back? Late in the first period. 16-9 the shot total. Beg your pardon. And no, it's the Lightning. And that could be a critical goal. Chambers, assisted by Alfredson and Bureau, 3-2. Interference against Stevie Thomas. Lightning on a power play again, which will carry over to the second period. And that'll do it for the first. It's 3-2. Shots were 16-11, so an active first 20 minutes of this game. Islanders got the first 3 goals, and Tampa Cut it to 2 because, as Don Cherry will always tell you, the 3-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. "15 minutes to go. Second period. Lightning looking to keep the good times rolling." Yeah, I used that phrase again. Thank you, Rick or Kasich, for putting that into my mind. Of the Cars, God bless him. No longer with us, of course, passed away a couple of years ago. Let the good times roll. 3-2. Midway through the game now as we edge towards that midway point, which we have now crossed in the second period. Tampa Bay creeping in on the shot columns. 20-16, 20-17 now. 8.5 left in the second. Whole lot of nothing going on right now, I gotta be honest. So hello to you, to all of you on Twitch. Glad to be bringing in a new audience to these games. As this second period pretty much going off without incident. Which, if you're a Lightning fan, that's kind of the way you want it. But the Islanders get a goal. Speak of the devil. Thomas assisted by Palfy, 4-2. With the shortened season that 1995 brought with the strike, it's going to make for some more interesting results, I would think. And we get to the end of the second, and game number 4 we have presented for you today. 4-2. Bolts trail by 2, but 2 goals is not an impossible lead, not insurmountable by any means. 28-18 the shot total, so the Lightning have been giving up a lot of shots, but it's not shots that matter, it's the goals that do. Looking at the game ratings, Hartman playing well, he's at 68. Bradley at 64, so he's been pretty much held in check, which if you're the Islanders, you want to do. And if you're watching this live, the Lightning trail 1-0 to the Panthers, or did 4 minutes ago. If you're watching this on tape, forget I even said it. So midway through the third period, and Tampa Bay now about 9 shots shy of where the Islanders are. 10 minutes to go. And now let's see who gets the scoring chance. If it's the Lightning giving up another one, then they're back down 3 again, which is how they started this game. If the Lightning get it, it's a 1-goal game. So this is a critical goal. Hard to tell how this is going to go. And it goes the Islanders' way. It is Pylon, assisted by John Madden and Marty McInnes. 5-2 Islanders. Not that John Madden, but the John Madden who played hockey. John Madden, who played hockey, can't tell you that 1 knee equals 2 feet. So under 7 in regulation, unless Tampa Bay really gets hot with the goals. And we'll play one more game before calling it a night here on this part 18 of the Birth of the Bolt series that I started over on YouTube and that I have brought over to Twitch. And will still air on YouTube on a tape delay basis, just in case people want to pay me for commercials and so forth. I want to keep that going. And just for good measure, the Islanders add another goal. Steve Thomas, Palfy and Turgeon assisting, and this has been a drubbing at the Dome for the Lightning. They kept Tugnut in. They did not pull him. And that's the way this one went 6-2. And the Islanders got all the stars: Steve Thomas, Zygmunt Palffy, and Pierre Turgeon. So not a good game for the Bolts that time around. They fall out of first place. And we'll let you know what's been going on before we go to our last game against the Hartford Whalers. Pavel Bure, his goal streak went to 7 as they beat the Oilers 4-0. Buffalo and Boston made trades. Swoboda for Kevin Adams. Owen Nolan lights the lamp. He scored 3 goals as Quebec defeated Hartford 6-0. Joe Sakic had his point streak go to first 18, then 19 games. Stéphane Richer had a 3-goal, no-assist game as the Devils beat the Rangers 5-2. Ron Francis had his assist streak go to 8. Lemieux had his goal streak extended to 5. Stevie Thomas in an earlier game, or maybe it was a later game that he defeated, because we just played the Islanders, had a good game, no goals, 4 assists, as the Islanders defeated the Penguins 8-5. Turgeon played a great game in that 8-5 game with Pittsburgh, and Pavel Bure, his goal streak now up to 8. So our last stop tonight, Hartford Whalers, who have the best theme song in all of sports, if you ask me. Sean Burke in goal for Hartford against John Casey. Pat Verveek, the star player for Houston, not for Houston, but Hartford, 2 goals, 6 assists. And Bradley, 9 points now in 10 games. He's been a little dry as of late. We'll drop the puck, and here we go from the Thunderdome. We don't need another hero. I thought the best song on that album, by the way, was One of the Living by Tina Turner. Just want to throw that out there. I always thought we don't need another hero sounded a little dry, but One of the Living was beautiful. Jansen's in the penalty box, so Tampa Bay, we'll see if they got the power. I've got the power. "53 minutes into this stream, by the way, so we'll be done in a little bit. Bidding you all adieu and go enjoy the projects that you see on Twitch and on YouTube. Wouldn't mind interviewing some people on Twitch for my YouTube series, The Meet, with Big Paulie, that I started last week. Because I really don't think there's a big difference between Twitch gamers and YouTube gamers, not as much as you would think. YouTubers tend to be older, and that's a penalty against Hartford. Lexonen, I will say that is, and he goes to the sin bin, and Tampa Bay now with another power play. Still looking for our first goal of the game, more than halfway through the first period. And there it is. Speak of the devil. Doug Crossman, assisted by Bradley and Zaminer, 1-0, Tampa Bay. And very quickly, a penalty. Poulin for Hartford. And now very quickly, a power play for Tampa. I find in this game that there are a lot of penalties after goals. Don't you? Any of you who play Franchise Hockey Manager on Twitch, maybe over on the big tube? Down to about 5 minutes left first period, 7 shots to 4, and 1 goal to 0 in favor of Tampa Bay in each category. 4 minutes to go. And we are winding down in this one. First period, Slager called for hooking. Watched a lot of hockey in the 90s, so some of these names I remember, and some of these names I must painfully tell you that I forget. Lightning up 2-0. Anderson assisted by Larionov. And the Bolts seem to have their groove back. We go to the end of the first period. We're at the end of the first period, in fact. 10 shots to 4, 2 goals to nothing in favor of Tampa Bay. Buffalo and the Islanders drubbed us 6-2 in that game you just saw. So when we come back next week, we will have played out all of February, and we'll get you started with the docket of March games. And then I should look at the schedule at some point and see how April will go, because usually what I like to do is I like to play, because that's the end of the season, the last 5 regular season games instead of the first 5. And if the Lightning make the playoffs, that we'll do a week of playoff games. Jeff Sanderson, Sarli Salapsky, and Pat Ravik with the assists. It's 2-1, and plenty of time still in this one. Shots are now 12-6 in favor of Tampa Bay. But I enjoy doing these projects on Twitch and splitting up the time between Twitch and YouTube, because you could get paid for doing videos on Twitch. Maybe not a hell of a lot, but you could get paid for them. About 11 minutes now left, second period. It's 2-1 Tampa Bay still. Season ended now. Tampa Bay would probably get a playoff berth, which we haven't gotten yet. I've done quite a few seasons of FHM on YouTube and now Twitch, and I've only been to the playoffs once. Lightning score, Bergevin, assisted by Zomner and Larionov, 3-1. And that's because I was playing Hartford 79-80, the 79-80 season, in FHM 6, and they had a very good team to start off with, but then trailed off as future seasons progressed, as they broke up. The good team that was the Hartford Whalers, and then they wallowed in the dregs of the NHL. You know, that's back when they had divisional playoffs, and you were in a 5-team division, and all you had to do was not finish last, and you made the playoffs, and I always found the way to finish last. The Lightning have been different. They have been growing by leaps and bounds. It's now 20-15 on shots, final minute of the second. And I'm hoping they will make the playoffs this year, but it's looking good for the future for Tampa Bay. Cross-checking, Dave Kexmer. And now Tampa Bay on the power play. Roughing Patrick Poulin. Double power play now for Tampa. They have a 5-on-3. Surely they'll take advantage of at least one of these and make it 4-1, but there goes one, there goes the other. So a 5-on-3. It's like having the bases loaded, nobody out, and you can't score. Something the Rays know a little bit about, the way they've been hitting as of late. 5 minutes gone by in the third. Hoping everybody is well in the sound of my voice. YouTube, I'm up to 137 subscribers now. Never thought we'd go over 100, but we're now closing in on 150. And those of you watching on YouTube, I thank you very much for that. Got a little bit of work to do on the old Twitch. But that is Anderson, assisted by Alfredson and Janssen. A lot of S's in these names. 4-1. Bolt's in control of this one. But as I frequently say, and it wasn't my saying originally, it was Don Cherry's, the 3-goal lead. The most dangerous in hockey. Holding on Alfredson. Under 7 to go in the third. 4-1 Tampa Bay leading. Boarding against Anderson. So Hartford's got a puny power play, only 12% right now, which would explain why they're not winning games if they aren't. 6 minutes to go. Third period, 4-1 Tampa Bay. So this win will keep them strong in the playoff hunt. And when we come back with you next week on the 17th of May, we'll have some games for March for you, tripping Brian Bradley. And then on the 24th, we'll just have to check the schedule. It might be more beneficial to play the last 5 games of the regular season if we're in a playoff hunt. Actually, that's what I always like to do is play the last 5. So the crowd cheering as the Bolts close in on a win under 2 minutes left. It's 35-24 on shots. And it's starting to look like Tampa Bay could put this in the win column. Bergevin called for a trip, so Tampa Bay has a power play to kill off. And that's it. The Bolts win 4-1. I'm surprised Hartford didn't try to pull their goalie there, try to get a goal, because you never know what happens when you go 6-on-4. 3 stars of the game, and they were all Lightning players: Zamner, Anderson, Bradley. Doug Crossman has now played 950 games in the NHL with this. And we have crossed the 1 hour mark. And I will come on and tell you, thank you very much for joining us this last hour or so, or actually with the 5-minute warning we did a little less than an hour, but that's fine. We did 5 games. We got 5 games in. I thank you all for seeing this, and I thank you all for dropping by. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. TB Paulie here on Twitch. And until again, bye-bye.